Hey guys, Bookazal here and welcome back to 999. Last episode we went into the Zero's laboratory with a lot of junk in it. We played some really annoying games, puzzles, and then Seven finally got his memory back and we went through that whole ordeal, the whole story of where, how, what, who, and that Akane Kurashiki, aka Junpei's childhood friend, died. But how is she still alive as June in this game? It's kind of weird. Like, what's up with that? So yeah, we are out of the laboratory right now and we're about to continue onto the library, and we have the Neptune key, so we're gonna go through the door that requires it. So let's do that. The door opened and they stumbled into the library.
Huh. I think the shaking stopped.
It would seem so, but we are yet to be out of danger. You're right. Let's hurry.
They ran across the hallway.
This exit needs the Uranus card too.
Straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus reader.
Hey,
card
Junpei.
reader.
Yeah, I know.
They slid the key card through and the door rumbled open.
All right, it's open. Let's go.
Out of the library and into the hallway they ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. Junpei reached into his pocket to pull out the key as he ran toward it.
Okay, Neptune key. Let's see if you work.
He turned it.
Yes! I think it unlocked.
The lock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through it. And there we are. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque. Incinerator.
Incinerator. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door. Yeah, right here.
Junpei ran up to it.
Pull that and the door should open. Got it.
As he spoke, he pulled the lever. The motor in the door groaned, and it slowly ground open. There was no time to
Let's
waste.
Go.
Soon as the door had opened far enough to admit them, all the four dashed through. Then suddenly, there before them, were the four who they'd parted from earlier. Ace and Lotus stood in front of the number 9 door. Santa was curled into a ball against the wall of the incinerator, holding his stomach. Or more like Aoi was. And then there was June. She sat slumped against the wall, exhausted.
What the hell is going on?
Junpei ran towards June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt
What's
down.
wrong? Are you okay?
Her face was pale and her lips were dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her.
You came to get me.
Of course I did. I made a promise.
I'm so glad you're here. So glad.
She mumbled the same words over and over weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking.
Hey, what happened to you?
I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though.
Are you sure?
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me.
He was looking towards Santa. Junpei turned to look as well.
Santa.
Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Seven grabbed him by the collar and roared at him.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere?
Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips, as Seven shook him.
I don't have it. I got
No.
sucker punched and they took the gun.
It's Ace and Ace is Lotus. Again, just like the safe ending.
What? Who took it?
What? Isn't that obvious?
Kentaro
I took
Hongo. Yeah. Obviously.
Eighth.
He indeed had the revolver in his hand. It was pressed against Lotus's temple. Ace had pinned her pinned to him with the other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fiery attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare to speak. There was a sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flicking up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed to desperately want to say something.
Just what the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals?
Savin's deep baritone rumble shook the walls. Ace sneered.
You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain?
The pain of prosopagnosia, right?
Do they explain it here? That he wants to see it? Is that why why he did the Nonary game? That he wanted to see people's faces and stuff through the receiver stuff? So I don't know if that was a theory or that I just got it from the game. Sorry, I don't remember. I've played this game so many times, but I still forgot that little detail. Junpei's voice was casual, or at least it was trying to be.
Another irritating insect. And how do you know that?
Good question.
Junpei couldn't say, he just knew. Another unexplainable mystery.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go.
Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in the small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner.
First is 1. Give me your hand.
It beeped and then he forced Lotus's hand onto it as well.
8. And with this...
And then at last he reached into the pocket of his jacket. He pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. The third asterisk appeared on the red.
9.
The thing he had used for the final verification was the bracelet with the number 9.
The ninth man. Kubota's bracelet.
Yeah, we know.
I believe I've won this game.
His smirk made Junpei's blood boil.
I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is.
Junpei's eyes flickered towards Senna. He hadn't moved since they'd entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure it wasn't either.
What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait!
Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever on the red. With a sickening sense of finality, he pulled it. I know that I remember this happening.
What? Why isn't it opening? One more time.
Lotus tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but... Oh, God, almost. Almost. Oh, she was wearing jeans. I thought she was wearing a skirt. For some reason, I still thought she was wearing a skirt. I never put together that she was wearing, like, pants. I've seen it before, too. Like, I've seen her wear pants before, but I never, like, put it together in my brain that she was wearing pants for some reason. Maybe I just wanted her to not wear pants. At the last second, he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it onto the red.
Now open!
Her face, though. He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time. Nope.
No! What is this? What? The digital root should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Ace's fury and confusion had overridden all other thoughts. He had set down the revolver. It was just below the red.
Now!
Seven chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than a man of his bulk should have been able to, and he launched that bulk straight at Ace. Nice, Seven. Good job. Knock him out. It was over before he knew it.
No!
In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. Good. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain. Lotus ran straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace.
Oh, that was close. Too close. Thank you, Seven.
Don't mention it.
Steven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy.
Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. But if a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat.
9 years ago? Then you must be...
Yeah, you finally figured it out, dumbass.
Ace planted his hands on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked toward him. He stopped and looked down at Ace with pity on his face.
Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashido, didn't you?
Wait, Nijisaki?
He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused.
Oh, right. You don't know yet. All right. We'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go into door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the Nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the digital route.
Yep. We already knew this.
Which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use it in the murder of Nijisaki. 3. Even if his number hadn't been 9, Kubota was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years before. You needed to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last, and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kubota as a test. You wanted to know how serious this Nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen. That was why you killed Kubota. But he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran into Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake.
No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did...
I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's. You just waved it over the red. Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead.
Then you mean to say... Snake is still alive?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
Well, I wouldn't blame you.
Ace's self-derision was frustrating. But Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued.
Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, a pocket watch. Might I take a look at it?
I handed it to you, and you left the room. You had been in charge of the Nonary project. Of course, you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. All you had to do was place the watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Musashido was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. And then you returned to the chart room as if nothing had happened.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment?
I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When we stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest? You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the vote. But that wasn't really what you were after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket.
Oh, I don't even remember that. He's right. We suddenly had the pocket watch after that cutscene. Oh, that's so sneaky. I forgot about that one. So cool.
It wasn't a very good plan. Had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you. You must have been desperate. But what made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace.
That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out.
Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it. But why?
Because of this.
Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece of paper.
What's with the paper?
Just read it.
Junpei took it and opened
Let's
it.
see.
Truth had gone, truth had gone. This is what it said.
Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal.
Not. Okay.
The first is to win the Nonary Game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. 0.
But instead he decided to kill the witness. Okay.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan.
And I found it first.
Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then?
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace had confessed everything. What energy he had left. What energy he had left with him. What? What energy he had left him with the truth? That makes no sense. That is a really bad sentence. I'm gonna have to read that again. Oh god. Commas, please. What energy he had left him with the truth. And he sagged on his knees. I use a comma when I do that. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt a revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet. But among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, it had not been the only person who had murdered those two men. Junpei spoke quietly.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet, in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap.
Because you're not really that smart.
But yes, this was a trap.
You're just really evil.
It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Oh,
Ain't no point
cut the
trying to
crap.
play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh?
Seven's face was sad as he spoke.
My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the Nonary game this time around was Zero, and Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh?
Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the Nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
What?
He's not.
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said, all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the Nonary game. To save someone.
Save someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw...
Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went wide as the dinner plates, and he spun around to June. Junpei followed his gaze.
What?
She's gone. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing.
What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort, as though he was struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the sides of his head.
Oh, my head! My head, it feels like it's gonna pop.
Seven! What the hell is going on?
I don't know, I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It surrounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured.
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For 2 organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphogenic engine, yeah. We're in Outlast now, guys. We're in the morphogenic engine now. The morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside down Y. The river flows from top to bottom from a single stream to 2 branches. It only flows in one direction, it can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but it never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know what those downstreams will never know about those downstreams in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river. Even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? Am I the 9th letter of the alphabet? Wait. I mean, I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0, not yet. Perhaps you should say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years I will be 0. Do you guys get it yet? No. God damn it. Where did you go? June, no, Akane. Where did you go?
Santa!
I can't switch the novel screen. Why is Clover... Oh shit.
Freeze.
Santa's got the gun. Guess you picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head. I can't change it.
Get up.
Sure isn't about to take the gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight, I mean. I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. Guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but...
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered door with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
Oh, because he... Because Akane wished for them to be happy forever, but then she died. And now he wants to make her wish come true so they can be together again and be happy. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out of... Shit, they're out. Sorry, not out of time. Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache has gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens.
Damn! Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
Oh, you mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
No. No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. Shit. We gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There's a red. Yeah, alright. We can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. Two plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. Is there any combination that will work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh. Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey! No need to be ripping out pages like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she's writing. Let's see.
Huh.
2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7. The only one that we can do is leave Lotus behind.
What?
And there's no other way?
Lotus. Looks like she figured it out too, though. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
No, Lotus.
Lotus.
No.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
No, we won't. And you got 2 daughters. They need you.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she's expected that as much as I did.
Without, if you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
Poor Cap, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
He likes her, in a way.
7.
Not romantically or something, but... Like, he warmed up to her in a weird way.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Oh. Act the stuff if you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red.
Oh, yeah.
No! What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see, why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital root was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Shit. If we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls here are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get through that hole that 7 popped out of 90 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. Oh yeah, this is a Kane vision. I was watching. I had watched everything that I was reflected in his eyes. Do you get it? Do you get it? I'm going to be 0. We're in a Kane vision. June is 0. It's so cool. It's so weird and so, like, my head hurts, you know? I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that reverberated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, we were as one. I was him, and at the same time I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. A resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was in the present and the other was in the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
This is Nona, by the way. Definitely Lotus' daughter. That was my brother, Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into a large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. I bet that was Nona. She probably loved her. It had been 2 hours since the Nonary game had begun. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello? Everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fight died down and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Is her name actually Clover? As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. Maybe her name is actually Clover, though. In his hands were 9 4-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me. And I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck?
That's where that comes from.
Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only one single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we will always be connected.
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before it was gone. That does not make sense. When he finished the tension of only a few minutes ago? When he finished the tension of only a few minutes before it was gone. Oh, like that. Okay, sorry, I didn't grasp that sentence. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship a little while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with the number 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we've all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had only one number, had another number 9, but this time it was only 1. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors!
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gone bad enough already,
Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
my brother always swallowed hard and answered.
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator. And that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest had happened just as 7 said it did. The 4 of us who stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite to the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral staircase. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Aoi, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upwards like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
Oh my god, she went back because of my present. I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back, I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They wouldn't stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. Moved as quietly as I could down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom, the door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved me on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then suddenly,
Akane!
the door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Aoi burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake.
Akane!
Or Light. You know, Snake is also light. He cried my name again as he leaped forward to leaped toward Hongo.
You came back!
I cried out, but then
You're too late, idiot!
Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both to the incinerator.
Ah!
The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked towards the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched, but those fists never reached Hongo. With a cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would have considered a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pockets and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelet carelessly on the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the other 2 doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran towards the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of the door, a worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here!
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door!
What?
Then it started again.
Warning, warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Incineration will begin in 18 minutes.
Junpei vision.
Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy shit! Man, I knew what it was gonna say, but that is one hell of a creepy voice.
I knew it!
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. I promise. I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But...
Incineration will begin in...
He wasn't there.
17 minutes.
You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn!
what kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means.
Well...
God damn it! Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing!
How the hell?
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
There isn't anything like that.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor, it's moving. Oh yes, I remember. This is really funny to me. What else can I say about it, but...
What the hell is that?
What is that?
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. Out of it. It looked like a computer. At least, it kinda did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a crisscross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more of them took place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. Oh, she cried so much. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on this screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. God! Man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
Alright, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's gotta be important. But what the hell am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
She's like, computer? I can do stuff. Gah! Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you get to shove people around.
Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll actually do anything. Oh, did they change it? Yeah, they changed it. Oh, they changed it, guys. They changed it from the original DS version. Okay. Huh. Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen? What's on the screen, though?
What is this?
What's up?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle,
the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
Alright, puzzle. How do you work? Oh man, that goddamn voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
Shit, 30 minutes? Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at this puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Junpei had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured over them. Then I heard a voice.
Hey, what are you doing?
It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face, a frightening, evil face. It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me?
Don't know what to do?
He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled.
It's simple, really. But I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine.
His laughter was muffled by the door, but it still tore at my heart like claws of a vicious monster. I bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears.
You're a terrible person! I hate you!
Oh my! How could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see? I've even left you a way out.
A way out?
Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator.
What's the point of stopping it? You'll only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not going to listen to you. If you're just going to throw me back in here, I might as well just die now.
My goodness, haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you, I'm a fair man.
Huh?
If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape.
The verification function of the red?
Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red.
Ah, so you do remember. Right now there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1, and the second is 3. Say, Akane, what's your number?
I looked down at my left hand. The face on my bracelet showed a 5. See, she's a 5. I ran to the door with a 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel. He said he wasn't activated.
You really aren't one for listening, are you?
No, it doesn't seem like it. I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room.
I've already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of fool are you?
Why are you doing this?
You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys.
Huh?
Faces. Monkey faces. We can't distinguish monkey faces.
Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle.
See,
I can't! I don't know how!
I'm pretty sure that's why he did it. Because every face looks like the same face to him, so it's like looking at monkey faces. That we can't distinguish from each other, and that's why he wants to know what things look like.
Of course you don't! Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenetic field and find the solution!
So it is the same, morphogenic. But this is a morphogenic field, and that's a morphogenic engine. So it's kind of like the same in a way.
I can't!
I'm talking about Outlast, by the way. Morphogenetic engine. Morphogenic engine is from Outlast.
Then you'll die. You'll burn alive. It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it will be very painful.
Okay, kind of hate Ace, but you gotta give it to the man. He can do a really good monstrous evil laugh. His horrible laugh echoed across the room, and even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it.
Incineration will begin in
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I figured. I was crying, great gulping sob broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fears pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the monitor.
I can't! I just can't! There's no way! I can't figure this out.
This is another base 10 thing. A10S. Luckily I have all the letters here, so I know which one it is which. What was I gonna do? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. My fear scattered my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was gonna die. My palms were sweating, my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held it tight with both hands and prayed.
Help me! Jumpy! Help me! Help me! Help me! Jumpy! 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 Please! Help me! Jumpy!
There we are.
Akane?
Akane?
Who the hell is Akane?
Shut up! Just shut the hell up!
Seven Lotus don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me, and I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're in my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here?
Akane! Akane! Can you hear me? Akane! Say something!
Fuck. Did something break our connection? I swear I just heard her. Shit!
Akane! Answer me! Akane!
Jumpy?
I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course, but I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there.
Jumpy!
I screamed as loud as I could.
Akane!
Oh, they're communicating through time. It's so cool.
Jumpy!
What is this? Some kind of anime? That's her. She's there. Then that means.
Akane! Akane!
Are you in an incinerator right now?
Yes, I am! How did you know?
I couldn't believe that he knew that. Now I understand what Santa meant.
Right. There's only one way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
Because he has a connection with her. I think I get it now.
Incineration will begin in 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
Jumpy, we don't have time!
Get going. As quickly as I could, I told him that I had to solve the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator.
Got it!
And I do. I get everything now. At last, I finally understand what all of this means. I know why the Nonary Game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All of this was planned out to lead to this one moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it. But there's only one possible answer. June is 0 is Akane Kuroshiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kuroshiki. I must save her no matter what.
Incineration will begin in 6 minutes.
Oh, come on, guys. Jeez, you're freaking me out. The voice reminded me of how much time I had left.
Yeah, I know. Just hang on, alright? I promise I'll get you out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, alright? Just give me a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. I felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him. Okay, jeez, calm down. Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Is Snake talking to them about something? Whatever, doesn't matter. Get out of my way.
Hey, what are you...
Just trust me, okay?
Sorry, Lotus, I didn't mean to snap, but there's not a lot. There's a lot more at stake in here. I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I apologize later, alright? Now, let's have a look at this thing. We've got numbers all over this grid. I think the panels are out of order. So I just need to switch these out. Staring at it is going to accomplish anything. I'll just have to try it.
Just think of what I did all those times before. I'm gonna do this on my own, with my own mind. I'm gonna solve this problem.
Hey, there's his face again. Take a way out. That's the last one of this series, guys. Luckily, there is... Let me just put it... Oh, that's not fair. I don't want the hint. I don't want the hint. So it is still the same. It is still the same. It is technically Sudoku. That's what it comes down to. I think. This one is stuck here. Okay, W is a wait. Pressing the button again to make the numbers disappear. Looks like I can turn them on and off. Then there is some special meaning to there being two modes. What could it mean? I'm kind of trying to figure out why these numbers need to be here. Wait. Switching out a yellow square affects all the hint squares around it. Wait, but one square doesn't get a hint number. The 9th spot at the bottom. The 9th spot at the bottom? The 9th... This one? Only this one stays blank. Maybe a fixed number goes inside. So the 9th square has a different rule. If I only knew what that number goes there. Elder said everything goes to its original state. Oh, wait a second. When everything is in its original spot, something lines up in the bottom squares. Look, it looks kind of like it should be a word. What? What? What should be a word? What should be a word? This should be a word? God, just stop. Stop making everything weird. It said that I had to spell out a word. Or it like looked like it was A-O-D A-O-D A-O-A-S-O-D S-yes yes O-D O-D word? Password? Is that what it needs to say? Is that what he thinks it says? There is a P. Are there S's? There another S? Yes. W was here. R. Wait, was that it? No! It was so much easier than the Sudoku puzzle. Wait, what's the password? Password? Is the password password? Password. No? Nonary Game? Akana Kurashiki? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Password. I'm inputting a password now then. Are there any hints? What the hell am I supposed to put in here? That's a good question. No. Right? The puzzle. The answer ended up being password. I know! And after that was an extra space. The 9th square. Maybe that's the password. 9? Oh my god! Sorry.
Yes, that's it.
Calm down. Sorry, I need to calm down for a sec. They made it so much easier than a Sudoku puzzle. I would have rather solved the Sudoku puzzle than this convoluted shitty puzzle. Oh, excuse me. Sudoku puzzles are so much more fun than this one anyway. Jesus. But sorry, I just have to. So, the thing with all the numbers and the hints and everything that you think you need to do something with because the numbers are changing. Numbers are all changing. Turns out you just need to grab the letters out of it and it spells out password. And the password is 9. Just number 9. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What is this? A point and click adventure game? This is more convoluted. Just none. It's not more convoluted. It's just as convoluted as point and click adventure games. Sorry, I need to rant. I needed to rant there. I'm so sorry. But that was just. Made no sense. That made no sense. Yes, that's it.
Akane! Did you get it?
Yes, I did! I solved it! I mean, really, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did! Now I just have to press enter!
Then what the hell are you waiting for? Push it!
Okay, I will!
I hit the enter key.
Emergency shutdown command has been confirmed. Incineration system has been disabled.
Jumpy! It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked!
Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him. But they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, what strength I had left disappeared and I collapsed on the floor. For a while I just lay there laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Every time I thought about him, I thought that my heart would have burst. Yay, we saved her with the most convoluted puzzle ever!
Whew.
I can't quite believe I did that. But I'm so glad. So glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. No, I don't have time to be thinking about that kind of shit. I need to tell Akane.
Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay?
Oh, of course, that's fine!
I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind.
Now.
Well, Seven and Lotus don't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved their lives, guys.
Junpei, are you...
Okay?
Ah, shut it!
Right, okay, so maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here he goes. Wait.
Incineration will begin.
Doesn't do anything.
90 seconds.
It didn't do anything.
It doesn't sound like it's stopping.
Nope.
What the shit? Why isn't it stopping?
Okay, maybe I didn't hit the enter key hard enough. I just hit it again. And again. And again. Okay, that's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the hell is going on? I've got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect. So where the fuck is this thing? Isn't this thing stopping?
Incineration will begin in 60 seconds.
Uh-oh. Wait, of course! That's what the numbers that showed up after the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Snake, Clover, me, and 7, and Lotus. Then, door 9. No, that's it! That number on the door isn't a 9! I told you guys! Like, a couple of episodes ago, imagine, look at the way the number is scribbled on the door. It's not 9. Then what is it? Kinda looks like a... It's not even number.
It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that...
Holy shit! Of course! Then we just have to put in the right number into the red end.
Incineration will begin in
It's
30
a...
seconds.
Run, guys! Get to the door! Run!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit! Don't have much time! Man, I sure hope they can trust me on this one before we're all fucked. Alright, no time to explain, just go!
Quick, verify your numbers on the red!
Verify?
Who?
What combination?
All of us! We all need to verify!
Why?
You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it!
Hurry, 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 hurry!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled.
Just in time. Thank fucking Christ. No time to be happy. Time to go.
Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go!
Come on, guys, move it. Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. That is right along the corner. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. We've still got to find the dead.
Shit. Huh. Looks like we made it, huh?
He's so happy. Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. Looks like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. Snake is shaking his head wearily. I just want to take a nap.
Akane? Akane! Can you hear me? Akane!
I wanted to tell her we made it. I wanted to tell how good I felt, how good I feel. But nothing. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother.
Akane!
Oi!
I cried his name, even though my voice was almost gone from screaming, and leapt into his arms.
Oh, oi!
Thank God. He's saved. Yay.
Akane!
I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and I cried and I cried. The steady lump in his heart made my ear. The steady thump of his heart made my ear feel like I was home. That was not the correct sentence. I did not say the correct sentence, did I? The steady thump of his heart made my ear feel like I was home. My ear made me feel like I was home. I'm so sorry. That was ridiculous. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they could go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever, but I couldn't. The moment I passed through the door, my bracelet had begun the countdown to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to, and I scanned all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the I scanned all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. I'm pretty sure she meant I took the ones that Hongo dropped. That was it. I took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective who we'd call 7 in 9 years and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouth hung open.
Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again.
Oh, I was right. It's time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar Seven and Snake out of their surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiraling staircase to freedom. Time for more running. But if they can get us out of here, no wonder we're running so hard. My heart's beating so hard I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air again. Huh? Is 7 talking?
Hey Junpei, can I ask you something?
We're running.
What's up?
That door, the one with the 9 on it. Why'd it open?
Because it wasn't a 9.
All 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 is 26. That makes our digital route 8. It shouldn't have opened.
That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already.
Huh? What?
Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases.
Bases?
Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2?
0 and 1.
How about base 10?
That goes from 0 to 9, right?
Then how about base 16?
0 through F. After 9, it starts at A and goes from there. B, C, D, etc.
You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on.
So, what about it?
You don't get it? What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16 all the way to base 27?
Base 27?
Yeah.
Well, the numerical digits are the same. So, I guess you'd add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16.
H is 17, I is 18, J is 19.
K is 20, L is 21, M is 22.
N is 23, O is 24, P is 25.
Yeah, and? What comes after that?
Q.
26!
And what does that mean?
There wasn't a 9 on the door.
It was a Q! A fucking lowercase q!
Yup! It blew my mind when I figured that out. I was like, wait, what? Holy shit!
Yep, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27.
No, time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. I swear at any moment now I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every single cell in my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are going to burst. Maybe another short rest? Or maybe just a short rest? No, I can't stop. Don't have the time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run, like a bullet down a rifled barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running along the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally! God, the freaking, like... the freaking, like, what is it called? Association thingies. What's it again? I don't know what the word is. It's like associations. This is like this. We're doing this versus that way. It's really interesting. I'm running like a back on a coiled dragon. Jesus, I can barely... Oh, sorry. Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Jinpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together. You're almost there.
All right, I'm gonna open it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're finally here!
Please do.
Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. But even more importantly than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane. You're gonna open. You're gonna open now. Ah, damn it! Akane vision again. I felt a hand on my shoulder, or I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was always. He gave it a small, reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace, and no, not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped. They actually were on the gigantic, on the actual ship. Like they actual. This is crazy. We were finally able to escape from the gigantic. On the distant horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roar as it finally slipped beneath the waves. At last, its last cry echoed across the ocean, and then it was gone. It's over. I whispered, "Yeah." It was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Ooh. But if the ship sank, how can we be on the ship? Did they get it back up? Yes, finally, air! God, damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. Huh, gotta admit, this doesn't quite look like... Wait.
No way.
You've gotta be shitting me.
What?
It can't be.
This is...
Building Q in Nevada.
This is the building in the Nevada desert.
Yup. You were never on a ship because the ship actually sunk.
The mock experiment building.
Oh my god.
Clover's back.
This whole time we were in Building Q.
Sure enough, that's a desert out there, with mountains and all around it. Hello there, son. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I have ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? Yep, the numbered bracelet. Right, our bracelets. Guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip with an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. There was never a detonator to begin with. Figures. Well, technically that's not true because the guy blew up, the Kabuto or Kubota, he blew up, and so did Nijisaki. So maybe only the people who were evil got bombs in them, and the rest, and detonators, and the rest actually didn't, and they were just pretending.
Akane.
Jumpy.
Heh. Guess I must be pretty crazy about the girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. Well, that's the game. I'm pretty sure there was another part. Maybe there's an after credits screen. I don't know.
Are you okay?
There we are. I knew there was another credits after credits score. Score? After credits scene.
Oh, come on. This is nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't look okay.
It was just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill looking down at the town as the sun slowly set.
How does it look then?
He has a very deep voice for a kid. He was half serious, half joking. I thought about it for a minute first.
Well, let's see.
What did you do, Jumpy? Well, let's see.
It looks like you kissed a toad and got warts, but then they just kept growing and growing and growing.
What does that even mean?
I love hearing Junpei's voice being like, I'm a kid. Junpei grinned and...
Ow, 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 ow.
See? I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders, Jumpy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something.
Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing has a pretty smooth ride. Sure, it was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building, keys in the ignition and gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in and now we're here. And now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lotus is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are squeezed into the back seat there. I still can't believe we let her drive.
Woohoo! This is so fun!
Clover's driving.
This is so awesome! Driving is so great when there's nothing around, and there's no speed limit.
Hey, Clover, watch those bumps, all right? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death.
Hey, shut it. I can't help if I'm big, all right? Suck it up.
Why don't you drive, Seven?
I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law.
He doesn't have an international license.
Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat.
Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and June are in should be somewhere down this road ahead of us.
Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it.
Then we've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we?
Sure thing.
Oh shit! God damn it, she doesn't have to drive so fast. Man, I didn't even think a car like this could go that fast. We sure are throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we'd run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of one of the hills, drenching a kitten in gasoline. Oh no! My kitten! I have a kitten. She's 11 months old. She's adorable and annoying. The moment we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran into them furious.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped the kitten up and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could.
Help me! Officer, please! You have to come with me!
The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big swelling lumps.
You couldn't run away after you threw the kitty to me?
I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole of his mouth where the tooth had fallen out.
Yeah, I guess I could've.
Big gap there.
Then why didn't you?
I didn't want to. I wanted to beat him up. Beat him up real good.
Because of what they were doing to the kitty.
Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester.
Oh, you mean the bunnies.
Yeah, the bunnies.
Oh, Jumpy is such a good guy. He plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind.
They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And then they said they'd do the same thing to you that they did to the rabbits. I couldn't forgive them for that, so
He went for it. It was
Hey,
like
there's still
bunnies.
some stuff I don't get.
Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do.
Like Ace. Well, I guess I should say Gentaro Hongo. Why did he create the Nonary project? Anybody? Any ideas?
Why don't you ask him yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess I could.
He's still in the trunk, I assume?
They put him in the trunk, that's right. Maybe this is when he will say, I want to see people's faces. Yeah, he is. Still tied up. I'm assuming his mouth taped shut. His eyes just looked empty, no emotion. He looks like he just given up. I wonder if he even cares what happens to him anymore.
Hey, were you listening to us?
Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth.
Come on, I know you were. Answer me.
You could at least look at me when you talk, man.
I only wanted to see the faces.
There it is.
Human faces.
That's where I got it from. That was not a theory. It actually gets said.
I thought if I could gain the ability to access the morphic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, you could understand how they were processing the expressions of others.
That's it?
Yes. If you want to put it simply, but if you are looking for a more philosophical answer, I can supply that as well. You see, the human collective consciousness...
Thank you. I think that's enough out of you, pal. Time for the tape to go back on. Good.
Alright, so what's your second question?
The human collective consciousness. I said this before, didn't I? It's similar to the human collective consciousness. That we know things that we should know, but we do know.
You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you?
Well, somebody's a little nosy.
Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that?
Well, you see, 9 years ago, after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. And during the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Bourdain and Alice.
You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature?
Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine. I'll let you talk, but you gotta behave.
What?
Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandragora, of the family Solanaceae. I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. I used that extract to create Sokorin. Its creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly.
Shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's gonna going back on, Hongo. Jesus, fucking fight. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I just want to enjoy the ride. Going back to Akane.
Here, this is for you.
What's this?
This is a for you doll. His name is Junpei.
Junpei pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. In his hand was a doll made of yarn, small enough to fit in his palm.
Jumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll?
Huh? Yeah, the lady at the shop said so, so that means it's for you, right?
Junpei, I'm pretty sure it's a voodoo doll. Or for you, doll. Or for you, doll. So cute. Of course you would mistake that as a child. It's a voodoo doll, though.
Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll?
Wait, what? That's... Oh, man. Oh, man.
Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right?
Yeah, I guess calling it Junpei isn't a very good idea, then.
I mean, maybe it is, since she can control you.
Why are you giving me this anyway? It just seems really sudden.
Well, you know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much?
Oh, in June. Okay.
I mean, we're gonna be in different schools, and... I just thought I'd, you know,
Oh, okay, well, how about we call it June then?
Okay. So, I wanted to give you this.
That you was very low.
You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie.
Yes. I, head of tribe. This doll, traditional charm of tribe. So I give this. It me. So we always together.
Oh, Jumpy.
Aww.
If something bad, then hold and pray. I go wherever you are. So here, take.
I reached my hand out and picked the doll up gently.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
This is the doll that she had in the incinerator room, right? And that you hold and prayed towards and was like, Jumpy, Jumpy, Jumpy. And he actually answered. He went where she went. Which is adorable. Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell into June's tiny yarn body.
Oh, Jumpy. I'll never forget you. I promise.
Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words.
I'll never forget you either.
The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down towards the horizon. The last golden rays of the sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat bathed in warm light of the evening. Just the two of us leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. Doesn't look like it, but okay. The sun set and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness deepened. One by one, the lights of the town began to flicker on. There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned, and it's also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in an incinerator on the Gigantic. But she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the morphic field set and saved her life 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then how did I make sense of what Seven remembers? Snake makes sense, he's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Oh, wait, maybe that's not it at all. There's another logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No. No way. He couldn't.
Hey, look! Over there!
He was in a...
Somebody next to the road!
He was in on it. He didn't have amnesia, he was just pretending.
Huh? What?
Oh, yes. This is such a weird thing. Also, I love this. Look! It's the mummy! It makes no sense that she's here. The burning gaze of the Nevada sun pounded down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there on that shimmering plain was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei realized who she was. Alice. Somehow. I don't know how, but somehow. But don't forget your towel. What? Okay. Apparently, that was the achievement I got. Don't forget your towel. Voila, all the endings are done. Look at how gigantic, no pun intended, this ending is. It's so huge. Oh my god. But yeah, that is the ending to 999. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in Virtue's Last Award. Absolutely. Like, I will definitely play that again. I have played it before, but I don't really remember much of it because it was so crazy and weird. So, yeah. But yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next game. Bye-bye.